Right now, it is time for us to check the horse racing that is coming up this weekend with Mike Cossey, and also take a look at sports. Let's welcome in the boss. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Burnt. Burning a candle at every end.
Well, you know what? You only
live once.
That's right. You only got one chance to do it, so you might as well do it.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Well, so what do we got for this weekend?
2 races at Keeneland. 6th race on Saturday is the 7 furlong Perryville. But before I get into the picks, Keeneland has been a Pandora's box. There's no rhyme or reason for anything that's happening there this meet. It's been unbelievable. Point is, yesterday, I think it was the 8th race or the 7th race. The winner of the race paid $111, all right? And the super, for 10 cents, paid $72,000. $72,000 for a dime bet. That's like been the epitome of Keeneland this meet. Who knows what's going to happen? Imagine winning $72,000 betting $2.40.
Now, a question: is the person that boat? How was it? 10-cent bet? You said?
Yeah, I'm assuming somebody. The denomination is a 10-cent bet, but if you box 4 horses, it costs you $2.40. But you could have played it straight. I mean, who knows how the person played it?
Is it most likely some real amateur or somebody who knows betting?
With the numbers that came out in that race, more than likely.
All right.
Probably played the birth dates of 2 or 3 people.
What a nice surprise.
$72,000.
Gosh, that's not
cash money.
You don't get a better investment than that, really.
No, you ain't getting that on the stock exchange.
You're not getting that anywhere, not from nobody.
No. So with that being said, for tomorrow, like I said, the 6th race is the Perryville. A couple horses I'm looking at here. One is the favorite, obviously, Gunite. This horse has raced 11 times, hit the board 10 times with 5 wins. Never been over to Keeneland Strip, though. And at a 6-5 morning line with the things that have been happening at Keeneland, tread lightly. 2 horses I'm looking at more realistically is one is the 7 horse of a Revolution trained by Safi Joseph. Again, never been at the track, but has been running everywhere and running pretty good numbers. We'll be sitting just off the pace, and at 5-1, this is a horse I'm definitely going to use in my exactas and maybe a win bet, depending on what the price of the 1 horse, Hoist the Gold, is, trained by Dallas Stewart. Another horse who has never been over the Keeneland Strip, but has been sprinting everywhere. Churchill Downs, Fairgrounds, Saratoga, and been giving a good account of himself everywhere he's been. And the horse is coming in off a bullet work at Churchill Downs, the best of 36 for 5 furlongs at 1 minute and 2/5 seconds. Leaning toward the 1 Hoist the Gold with what's been happening at Keeneland for the 12-1 morning line with my win bet. But like I said, the 7 of a Revolution and the 8 Gunite will be in my exacta box to round that race up. Moving down to the 9th race is the female version of that race, is the Raven Run. This is 7 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. Couple horses I'm looking at in here. Down on the inside, you have the 3 Republique. Has been running on polytrack and turf. If you read between the lines, the 2 races this horse ran, one was the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks, where the horse ran 4th by 10, but had some problems in that race. And from there, like I said, ran on the turf up at Saratoga, and then came back at Churchill going a 6 furlong sprint on the dirt and won very, very impressively. 15-1 morning line, has a real nice work at Churchill, 47 and change for 4 furlongs. I'm leaning toward this 15-1 shot to win this race. The 2 horses I'm going to use with her, one is going to be the 9 horse Midnight Stroll. Midnight Stroll is the horse that did run in that Delaware race and won. The morning line on this horse is 10-1. So the puzzles are fitting here with all these nice prices. And another horse I'm going to use is the 8 horse Wicked Halo. Never been on the track, but has 9 starts with 5 wins. And Steve Asmussen's putting together a pretty good meet, as is the jockey, Tyler Gaffalione. So the 3 Republique's going to be my top pick, and I'm going to use the 9 Wicked Halo and the 9 Midnight Stroll to round out some exactas in that race. play whatever you like. You got numbers, you got names, you got anything at Keeneland, play it because there's a chance it might come out and you might make a whole lot of money.
Do you ever make those 10-cent bets?
I make them. I mean, I've hit a few for like 500-600, but none lately, and never anything like 72,000.
My. Well, make a 10-cent bet for me, and hopefully it hits.
Well, I would, but what are the Giants? The Giants are 5-1.
Yeah.
So I'll try to tie a 5-1 with some other kind of crazy stuff for you.
If you look at the NFL, it's everybody's 5-1, or 2-3 or 2-4, except for the Eagles. They're 6-0. It's not a very.
I haven't watched it, but I've been looking at the scores, and it appears like any team can win at any time. Most of the games are going to be real close, so that means like any mistake can cost you the game.
Any mistake, and a team that's got an aggressive defense, those are the teams that are 5-1 and 4-2. To be honest with you, it's not good football. I'll say 75% of the games are terrible.
That's what I was just going to get to. I mean, I like going back to the 70s and 80s where you knew who was going to be good. You knew why they were going to be good. You knew it was going to come down to 4 teams from each division or each conference or however you want to look at it. And it was just a whole lot of better brand of football. When you knew the Giants, the 49ers, on the other side of the ball, in the AFC, the Steelers and you knew they were going to be there. You knew what kind of football it was going to be, and you looked forward to it. When you put something on and you're like, all right, what's going to happen today? I don't have interest in that.
And another problem is the inconsistency of the referee.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, the refs?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the refs, I haven't watched football, so I can't make a determination on that. But if they're anything like the umpires in baseball, they should be put on a boat and sent to the island of Elba where Napoleon went because they're all terrible.
It's the quality and the consistent. I won't say the quality. I'll say the consistency of refereeing in the NFL. There isn't any. And finally, the blowback has come where defensive people have said enough. With this quarterback rule. I mean, it's just gone too far. Yes, you want the game to be safe, but yes, you want the game to be a competitive game. And if a guy hits a quarterback, falls on him, and he's trying to brace himself, but still falls on him with his full weight, to give a roughing the passer, insane. It's insane.
Well, like the rest of the world, common sense has left the room.
Yeah. So that's the only thing.
In baseball, when you have pitchers yelling "what,"
right,
and you have batters saying, "How could I possibly hit that?" There's a lot of problems because it's not like it's not consistent. With TV, they have that fictional box up there.
Yeah,
you're seeing pitches 6 to 8 inches either way, high, low, inside, outside, being called strikes. And as a pitcher, you don't know what to throw because you could throw it in the same place twice and get 2 different calls. As a batter, you're taught from when you're a kid, don't chase bad pitches, but when these guys calling balls at your shins or at your shoulders, it takes the bat right out of your hands. And then last night, not to jump on against the Yankees or anything, but watching MLB after the game, and I forgot what announcer it was condemning the third base umpire for making the call on the swing attempt. It was a swing attempt. I mean, he swung at the ball. He's like, "Oh, you can't end the game like that." What do you mean you can't end the game like that?
Sure you can. It happens all the time.
The guy swung at the ball. He swung at the ball. So what happens if he doesn't make the call? He calls it a ball because, in his opinion, he didn't get a real swing at it. And then the next pitch he hits a home run and the Astros lose. Who got cheated there?
Yeah,
the call is the call.
The whole thing is everything is inconsistent. It used to be you had umpires that when pitchers, and I'll be even with football players, you had referees and umpires that refereed and umpired a certain way, a standard way. So you knew what to expect going in. You knew. Now there's no idea. And so much is tied to individual contracts to how much you succeed. If you're a batter and you've got a certain number that you can hit to make an additional $1 million, I'll tell you what, it's human nature. You're going to go crazy at the umpire when the umpires are inconsistent.
When I played, I never believed in that. This is my strike zone. There is no this is your strike zone. The strike zone is 17 inches wide, and it's from your knees to the letters. That's it. It's not, I'm going to call the high pitch today. I'm going to call the low pitch today. You're supposed to call all pitches today. That's a lot of baloney. That's where an umpire is trying to make himself bigger than the game by saying what he's going to call. You're supposed to call everything. An umpire is like a police officer on the field. You're supposed to enforce all laws. You're not supposed to enforce the ones you feel like. When you call a pitch, you're supposed to call a pitch that's a strike and that's a ball, not the one that you think you should call. And that's the problem with baseball today. Baseball's so inconsistent. Thank God I'm not a pitcher today. I wouldn't know what the heck to throw.
Yeah. And Joe West, the longest-serving umpire in the history of baseball, was one of the worst.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no more of these, okay, you had a bad series, you're going down to AAA to practice your skills. That's what used to happen. But then that nasty 5-letter word union came in and ended all of that.
All right. Well, I want you to have a good weekend and a successful weekend on the track.
I'd like to hit one of those supers for 1/10 of what that one paid yesterday.
All right. Well, have good luck trying this weekend.
We'll give it a shot.
Take care, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Mike Cosby taking a look at the racing, and we can move on now to sports of other sorts, and that is baseball. Aaron Judge almost had a home run. Could change things, but it didn't. And once again, in another close game, the Yankees and the Astros play close games. But the Yankees just cannot beat Houston in Houston. Last night, Houston wins 3-2 for a 2-0 lead. Everything moves back to Yankee Stadium. So the games that are coming up today, San Diego and Philadelphia, they meet today. That is the 7:30 game. And coming up on Saturday, Houston is at New York for a 5 o'clock start. And San Diego and Philadelphia meet for just about a 7:45 or 8 o'clock start on Saturday. So that is the way the baseball will break down for today and tomorrow. Now we'll take a look at the NFL and what happened in the NFL last night. And it was Thursday Night Football streaming live on Amazon. And the Cardinals thumped the Saints 42-34. It was actually a lot worse than that. The Saints scored a touchdown with a minute left. So the Cardinals improved to 2-3, and the Saints fall to 2-5. Now, in big news out of the NFL, the Carolina Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco for a source to be named later, according to Fox News. The Panthers announced the deal shortly after midnight, and there you go. That is a very, very big pickup for the Niners. McCaffrey is a very, very good, dependable receiver. He can run the ball. That was I would call that one a steal. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the NFL schedule for this weekend. Coming up on Sunday, the Buccaneers take on the Panthers, Falcons and Bengals. The Lions take on the Cowboys, the Giants against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Packers against the Commanders, the Colts against the Titans, Texans take on the Raiders, the Jets take on the Broncos, the Chiefs take on the 49ers, the Seahawks against the Chargers. And then on Sunday evening, the Steelers take on the Dolphins. And then on Monday, the Bears take on the Patriots. And that is what the NFL schedule looks like for this weekend. That is our check on sports here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.